So it's extracting day at Steve's Bees. It is August 3rd, and what we have here is our harvest from the middle of the summer. In the spring we had our apple blossom harvest, and then this is like a clover wildflower mixture. As you can see behind me, we're just guesstimating about 500 pounds of honey, including what we've already done, which is like 15 gallons, right, Josh?
Yeah, 15.
Okay. So what we do first is we grab our box, we bring it over here, and I just take a putty knife, get all this wax trimmed off of it, and that keeps the frames clean before they go back in the hive. And then also, I can use this wax to melt down and make beeswax to make lip balms, candles, lotions, whatever the case may be. So after that, we then can take our frames out and we pull them up here, and we have this is a heated uncapping knife. It just plugs into a 110 outlet, and it doesn't get like super hot, but just warm enough to melt the wax and make a nice clean cut. This is like the most satisfying part of the job. It's pretty. It is pretty. And so we just shake the frame a little bit, shake the knife a little bit, and it just comes off wonderfully. And again, these cappings will get used once all this honey drips out. They'll get used for lip balms, candles, whatever. So we do that. Both sides of that we get done, and we have this fork to get like these little spots right here that you see. Get around the edges, anything that the knife can't get. And this is actually a homemade uncapping bin that my dad made. We just used like half of a queen excluder. If you look down in here, Josh, this is an old queen excluder, and that works really well for just catching all the big stuff. And this is a Rubbermaid tote. I believe it came from Walmart, and then we put a honey gate on the end of it. So once this sits for a couple days, you can actually just drain the honey right out of the bottom out of the gate, and then finally filter it, and you'll have all that extra honey. You get a lot of honey. Like at the end of the day, I bet you there'll be 7 gallons in there just for doing probably half of whatever we do today, which is 250 pounds. We'll probably get us 7 gallons just in cappings honey. So then we take our frames, one flip, no drip, and put them into our spinner. And Josh actually is our spinner guy, so I'll have him show you what this is all about.
So this typically will do 3 frames, 3 deep frames, or 9 medium frames.
Right.
First thing you gotta do here is engage the clutch in here, otherwise it will spin freely and you won't get anywhere. I like to put a little weight on the board that we have this mounted to, because it gets a little out of hand sometimes.
Yeah, it's just like an unbalanced washing machine until it gets going. So.
Right, so you hold on for dear life and you crank it. And out the bottom comes all the goods.
And as you can tell, I mean, it makes a lot of noise, but I mean, it gets the job done. If you want to pull one of those frames out just to show.
Right. Now, typically what we do is we'd spin these each way once, and then we'll flip it to the other side to make sure that all the honey gets pulled out because of centrifugal force. But since these were pretty light on the honey, these specific frames, it cleans them out pretty nice.
Yeah, if you just look into the cells, I mean, they're completely empty.
You'll see some moisture build up in the back, but
yeah,
that's
shiny, reflective.
Completely normal. But then the other side, you can see we still need to spin that side to get all the rest of that out.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, so they start out just packed full of honey like that. So it does a very, very efficient job just using the spinner as an extractor. As you can see, this bucket's almost full, so we'll close this gate off. And you're going to have lots of bits and pieces of wax and buildup. I just leave all of that in there. And if you just let a bucket sit, which we would let that bucket sit for, I don't know, an hour, and then we run it through our double sieve filter, and it goes through and it comes out nice and clean. And once that happens, we have Sister Amanda over here. She's on the bottling crew, and tell us about your skills, Amanda. How do you manage not to make a mess?
Taking my time.
Exactly. So that's really important, because if you get a little sticky spot on a jar, it goes everywhere. I mean, it goes to every single jar, and so if we have any sticky messes, you got to clean it up and you got to wipe it up really good. But at the end of the day, we get them in bottles. We have these pressure-lined seals. You just screw them on and they seal the bottle. And we just take our label, peel it off like so, and slap it on the bottle. Now, we don't get super duper crazy about putting these on nice and straight because we want them to have a little bit of character and let people know that they're made with love. But overall, I mean, right from the bee's hive to the bottle, that's everything. So hopefully we educated you and that you got to learn what the buzz is about. We'll catch you next time.